Welcome back. So we're digging into the AI Agent Store website again today. We're looking past the general chatbots, focusing on these really specialized AI tools, the ones tackling those, complex, tricky corporate challenges.
Exactly. It's about finding tools with very specific uses. And today, yeah, we're looking at one called Sprinto. It's listed under security monitoring, but honestly, what it does is quite a bit wider than just that.
Okay, Sprinto. Let's unpack the problem it's trying to solve. The description says it's an AI-powered platform for security and compliance automation. Sounds like it's really built for tech companies trying to, well, streamline those mandatory audits and keep an eye on controls, trying to automate away all that admin headache.
And it's a massive headache it's addressing. Compliances. It's really complex. Think about SOC2, ISO 27001, IPEA, GDPR. Keeping up with all of those means tracking just tons of data, constantly checking security controls across, well, the whole company. So Sprinto's main goal is helping companies scale trust, as they put it, basically automating the evidence gathering, the audit prep, the ongoing monitoring needed for all these standards.
Right, that makes sense. Given how complicated that all sounds, how much can the AI really do on its own? I saw a figure mentioned 75% autonomy. That feels like a huge number for something as critical as managing corporate risk.
It is high, yeah. And it's high because the platform can actually handle tasks independently that usually tie up security teams for weeks, maybe even months. We're talking about things like automatically answering client security questionnaires. Those can have hundreds of questions, like 200 to 500 sometimes. And also doing risk-to-control mapping.
Okay, wait. Risk control mapping. Can you break that down a bit? What's the AI actually doing there for someone maybe not deep in compliance jargon?
Sure. Basically, it means the AI looks at potential weak spots or vulnerabilities in the company's setup, and then it connects those directly to the specific security steps required by whatever compliance rule applies. SOC2, ISO, whatever. It spots the gap, checks the right policies there, confirms the controls are actually working, so that's 75% autonomy figure. It means all that prep work, chasing screenshots, mapping data points manually, that stuff that took security engineers and compliance officers ages, can now potentially be cut down significantly, maybe just days.
Wow, okay. So if you're, say, a CTO needing to look good for investors, or a risk manager trying to dodge big fines, this sounds like it speaks directly to them. And the sources confirm that, right? The target audience is security engineers, compliance officers, risk managers, and, founders or CTOs. Key uses seem to be managing security compliance continuously, especially for cloud-based companies, and just automating that whole audit readiness process.
And just for context, Sprinto is a paid tool. It's closed source. Seems reasonably popular, too, about 64% popularity level as mentioned, specifically in cybersecurity, GRC, and cloud infrastructure circles.
Okay, and here's something interesting from the user feedback we looked at. People definitely like the automation, especially how it pulls compliance evidence automatically, which is a big time saver. But the thing they really seemed to rave about, surprisingly, it was the customer support, how responsive it was.
That's actually a really key point, isn't it, for this whole AI agent space? Even with 75% automation doing the heavy lifting, that last 25% that often involves human judgment, tricky situations, strategic calls, you still need good human support backing it up. It kind of highlights how these specialized agents are more about boosting what humans can do rather than just replacing them outright.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So zooming out a bit, Sprinto seems to represent this shift, right? Moving compliance from something you frantically do before an audit to this kind of automated, always-on security posture.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it, if this kind of automation is possible for really complex regulations like SOC2 and GDPR. How long until basically every mandatory reporting task in any industry gets handled by some kind of specialized AI agent?
That's definitely something to think about. Okay, that's our look at Sprinto for today. Thanks for tuning in. And we always appreciate it if you rate this analysis.
And you can find more agents like Sprinto over at aiagentstore.ai.